can't believe we're actually doing this.
Did when she got excited. Believe it, Lucas. Downtown is where our life starts now. I laughed, though my chest tightened a little. You make it sound so epic. She nudged me playfully. Because it is. 3 years, Lucas. 3 years of putting up with your obsession with spreadsheets and bad coffee. You deserve this. I put up with your late-night reality TV binges, I shot back, smiling despite the nervous flutter in my stomach. Fair enough, she said, looping her arm through mine. But seriously, everything's going to be perfect. You'll see. I wanted to believe her. I really did. Sophia always had this way of making chaos feel like a promise of happiness. But later, when I met Ryan at O'Malley's for a drink, I couldn't shake the little doubts nibbling at the edges of my mind. Lucas, you're quiet tonight, Ryan said, sliding a pint across the table. Everything okay with Soph? I shrugged, taking a sip. Yeah, everything's great. Just tired from packing. Ryan didn't buy it. He raised an eyebrow, leaning back in his chair. Come on. I've known you since middle school. You've got that something's off look. I'm just nervous, I guess, I admitted, staring at the amber liquid in my glass. New apartment, new city life. I guess it's normal. Ryan smirked. Lucas Bennett, nervous about change? Never. I rolled my eyes. Hey, even I can get sentimental. He laughed. Fine. But if Sophia's hiding anything, you'll find out. You know me, Detective Clark is always watching. Detective Clark, huh? I grinned. You sound like a cheesy sitcom character. Better than Missing Something, he said seriously. She's great, Lucas. Don't get me wrong. But trust your gut, man. That's all I'm saying. I nodded, but I waved it off. Sophia had always been perfect, at least in front of everyone else. My sister Emily adored her, my parents liked her, even Mark from work thought she was a gem. Who was I to doubt her? Later that night, Sophia and I carried boxes into our new apartment. I handed her a stack of books. You're holding these wrong, she said, laughing. You'll crush the spines. I thought you loved my brutal efficiency, I teased. I do, but not at the cost of my favorite novels, she said, hugging the books to her chest. I stared at her, and for a moment I felt like the luckiest man alive. Then a tiny voice at the back of my mind whispered, something's off. Lucas, are you zoning out again? Sophia asked, tilting her head. No, just thinking, I said quickly. Nothing important. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. You're weirdly distracted tonight. Work. Maybe, I muttered, though part of me wondered if it was her. I pushed the thought away. Overthinking was useless. By the time we finished unpacking, the sun was dipping behind the skyline. I flopped onto the couch, exhausted, while Sophia admired the view from the window. You'll love this, she whispered. We'll have the city at our feet. I watched her, heart full, willing myself to believe her words completely. I wanted to trust her. I needed to. But when Ryan texted me later, keep your eyes open, man, I couldn't stop the flicker of unease. I shook my head, forcing a smile. No, not tonight. Tonight is perfect. And for now it felt like it really was. Sophia, whose text were you just reading? I asked, trying to keep my voice casual as we walked down the street. She glanced at me, smiling that effortless smile. Just a friend from work. What? Should I show you? I shook my head. No, it's fine. I guess I'm just curious, I guess. Sophia laughed lightly, looping her arm through mine. Lucas, you worry too much. Really. You need to relax sometimes. I'm fine, I said, forcing a grin, but a pit in my stomach refused to settle. Later that day at the office, Chloe Sanders, my coworker, noticed my distraction. She slid into the cubicle next to me, her brown eyes studying me like she could read my thoughts. Lucas, you okay? She asked, tilting her head. Yeah, why? I tried to sound normal, but my fingers tapped nervously on the desk. You look like you're 2 steps away from losing it, she said. Sophia Reynolds, right? She's complicated? I blinked. How do you? Chloe shrugged. Call it a sixth sense. Or maybe I've seen the same thing happen 100 times before. You're letting her behavior get to you. I don't know, I muttered, staring at my keyboard like it held answers. She's perfect most of the time. But sometimes, I don't know. Something feels off. Trust your gut, Chloe said, softly but firmly. Your gut doesn't lie. Her words lingered, and I couldn't shake the unease gnawing at me. That evening, I tried casually asking Sophia about her evening plans. Hey, what's your schedule tonight? I asked over dinner. Sophia tilted her head, pretending to think. Oh, just some errands. Maybe meet a friend. Nothing major. Just errands? I pressed, trying not to sound accusatory. Yep. I told you, Lucas. Nothing major. Her eyes sparkled with mischief, but it didn't reach her tone. I nodded, forcing myself to drop it. But the question burned under my skin. The next morning, I noticed her phone buzzing constantly while we had breakfast. Every time I glanced, she quickly turned the screen away. Lucas, can you pass the butter? She said, smoothly deflecting. Sure, I muttered, my mind racing. Sophia, is there something you're not telling me? She laughed softly, brushing her hair behind her ear. Lucas, really, you worry too much. Relax. You're imagining things again. I'm not imagining, I said, my voice firmer than I intended. I just feel like something's off. I can't explain it. She reached across the table, touching my hand lightly. You're overthinking. Honestly, you need a break. Maybe a night out? Ryan called that afternoon. Lucas, you sound distracted. Everything okay with Sophia? I don't know, I admitted. She's acting strange. Secretive. Text, phone, little things I can't quite place. Ryan chuckled. Welcome to the club, buddy. But seriously, trust your instincts. You know her better than anyone. I want to, I said. I really do. But it feels like I'm missing pieces. At work, Chloe nudged me again. Did you notice anything unusual when she wasn't around? Any patterns? I guess, the secrecy, the phone, I admitted. I never noticed it before, or maybe I ignored it. Pay attention, she said. Sometimes small things are signs of bigger problems. You deserve clarity, Lucas. That night, I watched Sophia scroll through her phone on the couch. She laughed quietly at something, hiding the screen as I approached. Sophia, I said softly, can I see that? She looked up, eyes glinting with charm. Lucas, really, must you be so curious all the time? I hesitated. I feel like there's something you're not telling me. She shrugged, leaning back casually. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. Does it matter? I froze. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. The tiniest flicker of doubt ran through me. Something's definitely off, I thought, staring at her. And I'm going to find out what it is. I was reaching for Sophia Reynolds' charger on the nightstand when her phone lit up. Lucas, don't, she said, but it was too late. My thumb accidentally swiped the screen, and the notification spilled across the display. Who's Jake? I whispered, freezing. Sophia Reynolds blinked, her perfect smile faltering just for a second. What? I stared at the messages. Texts, photos, flirty jokes. My stomach dropped. Jake. What is this? Oh, that, she said, trying to sound casual, but I heard the tremor. It's nothing, Lucas. Just a friend. A friend? I repeated, my voice sharper than I intended. Sophia, these aren't just friendly messages. You're meeting him. Laughing with him. Saying things you never said to me. Her eyes darted away. Lucas, I didn't. Look, it's complicated. Don't overreact. Complicated? I laughed bitterly, feeling my chest tighten. 3 years. You made me believe in us. And now, this. She reached for my hand. I can explain. Explain? I pulled back, the betrayal burning through me. How do you explain lying for months, hiding things I should have known? How do you explain every memory I thought we had together being fake? I texted Ryan almost immediately. Ryan. I think Sophia's cheating. I don't know what to do. Within minutes, his reply came. Calm down, Lucas. Don't confront yet. Gather proof. You need to know for sure. I groaned, holding my head. Proof? Proof I don't want to need. Later, I called Emily. She picked up on the first ring. Lucas? What's wrong? She asked, voice sharp. Sophia. Emily, I found something. On her phone. What do you mean? She demanded. She's texting another guy. Flirty. Meeting him. I choked, trying to swallow the lump in my throat. Emily didn't hold back. Lucas Bennett? Are you serious? You can't just sit there. You have to act. Don't let her get away with this. I know, I whispered. I don't know if I should confront her now or wait. Wait? Lucas, you found proof. You confront, you demand answers, or you start gathering more evidence. Don't let her manipulate you. Her words hit me like a hammer. I wanted to scream, to cry, to throw the phone across the room. Instead, I sat on the edge of the bed, replaying every memory. Her laugh at the coffee shop. The late-night walks in the park. The time she kissed me in the rain. Every moment now twisted in my mind. Had it ever been real? My chest felt heavy. I could hear Ryan's words echoing too. gather proof. Don't act impulsively. But every part of me wanted to confront her right then. To make her see the damage she caused. To watch her stumble under the weight of her lies. Instead, I did nothing. I watched her sleep later that night, pretending I hadn't seen the messages, pretending I could breathe normally. But my mind raced. She's hiding more. I can feel it. Every smile, every touch, it's part of a performance. The next morning, I noticed the little things I'd ignored before. A phone buzzing, a quick glance at a text, the way she avoided eye contact sometimes. The cracks were no longer subtle. They were obvious. I texted Chloe, careful not to let Sophia see. Hey, can we talk? I think something's wrong. Her reply was immediate. Lucas, I noticed. Come by my desk. Don't panic, we'll figure this out. I closed the bedroom door softly behind me, staring at the floor. My world was changing, spinning into something I couldn't yet control. Do I confront her now, or gather the proof I know I'll need? I didn't answer. I just stood there, letting the silence stretch, letting the heartbreak settle, letting the rage simmer. Because one thing was certain. Nothing would ever be the same again. Sophia, we need to talk, I said, trying to keep my voice steady as I closed the apartment door behind me. She looked up from her book, her smile effortless. Lucas, you're home early. Everything okay? Not really, I said, stepping closer. I saw the messages, the texts, the photos. What the hell is going on? Her smile faltered for a fraction of a second, but she recovered quickly. Lucas, you're overreacting. Those messages, they're just harmless. You're reading too much into it. Harmless? I snapped. Sophia, you're meeting him. Laughing with him. Saying things you've never said to me. How is that harmless? She tilted her head, letting her hair fall over one shoulder. Lucas, I didn't mean for you to find out like this. But you know how friends are, they joke, they flirt. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything? I repeated, my hands trembling. 3 years, Sophia. I trusted you. I loved you. And now I see, you were lying the whole time? Her eyes softened, but I could tell it was practiced. I didn't lie. Not really. I just handled things differently. You're so intense sometimes. You read too much into things. I laughed bitterly, a hollow sound. Handled things differently? You destroyed everything we had. And now you're telling me I'm the problem? I'm telling you, Lucas, it's not black and white, she said smoothly, stepping closer, her voice dripping with charm. You know me, I care about you. But you need to calm down and see it from my side. I felt my chest tighten. Every word, every movement, every glance was calculated to make me doubt myself. And for a moment it almost worked. But the pit in my stomach refused to lie. I pulled back. No. I won't calm down. Not until you're honest. Not until you admit what you've done. No more games. Her lips curved into a sad smile. Lucas, you don't understand. I never wanted to hurt you. You're imagining betrayal where there's none. I slammed my hand on the table, the sound echoing in the apartment. Stop. Don't you dare tell me I'm imagining. I saw everything, Sophia. Don't twist this. Don't make it about me. This is about what you did. She recoiled slightly, then composed herself instantly. Fine. You want honesty? I care about someone else, yes. But it doesn't mean I don't care about you. We can figure this out if you just relax and listen. My stomach churned. Her words weren't remorseful. They were manipulative, a way to control the situation. I wanted to scream, to beg, to make her understand the damage she caused. Instead, I felt a cold clarity settle in my chest. Mark from work called me that evening. Lucas, you sound off today. Everything okay? I'm dealing with something personal, I said, voice tight. Thanks for checking. You want to talk? He asked. Sometimes it helps to say it out loud. I can't, I said. Not yet. But I appreciate it. After I hung up, I sat on the couch, staring at Sophia. She tried to sit beside me, touching my arm gently. Lucas, please, let's not fight, she whispered. I pulled away. Fight? This isn't a fight. This is the truth. And I can't trust you anymore. Not now. Not ever. Her eyes widened slightly, but she didn't argue. Instead, she gave me that practiced, soft smile, the one she used to disarm me for years. I realized then that pleading, begging, or trying to repair this would be useless. The love I felt was poisoned by deception. I will make her pay, I thought, not with words, not with confrontation, but silently. Slowly. Every piece of her carefully crafted life would face the consequences, and I wouldn't have to speak a single word. Lucas, she said, tentative. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. My eyes were fixed, my mind already calculating. This chapter of my life wasn't over yet, but the game had changed. For the first time I felt the power shift. Not through anger, not through yelling, but through patience, through silence, through control. And that gave me a strange sense of calm. Sophia Reynolds had underestimated me. That would be her mistake. I stared at Sophia's laptop after she left for work and whispered, "This isn't what I wanted, but I need the truth." My fingers hovered before opening the bank app. "Lucas, breathe," I muttered to myself. "Just look." The numbers loaded. Transfers I didn't recognize. A hotel charge from last week. "Wow," I said softly. "You really did this." I texted Chloe. "Can you meet? I need advice." She replied instantly. "Lunch break. Cafe on Pine." At the cafe she studied my face. "Lucas, you look like you haven't slept." "I found things," I said. "Money, messages, locations. I don't even know how deep it goes." Chloe leaned in. "Don't confront yet. Document everything. Screenshots. Dates. Patterns." "I hate this," I admitted. "I feel like a villain." Chloe shook her head. "You're protecting yourself. That matters." After work I messaged Sophia's friend Victoria. "Hey, random question. Was Sophia with you last Friday?" Victoria replied, "No, why?" "She said she was with you." My chest tightened. "There it is," I whispered. That night Sophia said, "Lucas, you're quiet again." "I'm just tired," I answered. She kissed my cheek. "Get some rest." When she slept I opened her social media from my phone. Photos posted while she told me she was working late. Same jacket. Same street. Same timestamp as the hotel charge. I'm not crazy, I told myself. This is real. I forwarded everything to a private folder. The next day I met Chloe again. "I have proof," I said. "More than enough." Chloe nodded. "Good. But what do you want, Lucas?" I hesitated. "I don't know. Part of me wants to walk away. Another part wants justice." "Justice doesn't have to be loud," Chloe said. "Sometimes silence hurts more." I laughed without humor. "You sound like a movie villain." "Or someone who learned the hard way," Chloe replied. On the way home I called Ryan. "Bro, I've got evidence," I said. "Bank charges." "What?" "All of it." Ryan sighed. "I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to do next." "Whatever you choose," Ryan said. "Do it for you, not revenge." I hung up and stared at the traffic. For me. For my future. For my dignity. That evening Sophia asked, "You working late again?" "Yeah," I said. "Big deadline." "Okay," she smiled. "Text me." I didn't go to work. I met Mark for coffee. "Lucas, you seem off this week," Mark said. "I'm handling something personal." Mark nodded. "If you need backup, I've got you." "Thanks." Later, alone in the apartment, I spread the evidence across my screen. Dates. What? Messages. Locations. My heart pounded. This is it. This is the moment. I whispered, "Do I destroy her world or just leave?" My phone buzzed. Chloe again. "Remember, power is choice." I typed back, "I choose control." I watched Sophia come home that night, smiling like nothing was wrong. "Missed you," she said. "Me too," I replied. But inside I felt something changing. No more confusion. No more begging. Only patience. Only planning. Only the calm before the storm. "Lucas, you're here early again," Chloe said, sliding into the chair across from me at the cafe. "Yeah," I muttered, stirring my coffee without looking up. Trying to get ahead. "You've changed," she said softly. "Not just the focus, something else. Harder." "I'm fine," I replied quickly, eyes fixed on my laptop screen. "Just work." Chloe tilted her head. "Work isn't all that changed. You're colder. More distant. And it's not just me noticing." I shrugged, pretending indifference. "I guess people change." "You're pushing everyone away, Lucas," she said, her voice firm. "Even people who care." "I need space," I said, voice quiet but sharp. "You'd understand if you knew what I'm dealing with." Chloe's expression softened. "I think I do. But remember, isolation doesn't make revenge or justice any easier." "Revenge isn't the point," I said, a bitter smile tugging at my lips. "It's control. I need to control what happens next." Later at work, Mark noticed. "Lucas, everything okay?" "Yeah, just focused," I said, typing faster than usual. "You're not yourself lately," Mark said quietly. "I know you've been through a lot." "I'm handling it," I muttered, avoiding his gaze. At home I pulled out my guitar. The strings felt foreign under my fingers at first, but I forced myself to play. Each chord was tense, precise, deliberate. Music had always calmed me. Tonight, it reminded me of who I could be. Sophia walked in, smiling like nothing had changed. "Hey Lucas. Busy?" "Just practicing," I said. "You've been practicing a lot," she said, glancing at the laptop on the table. "Seems serious." "Some things deserve focus," I said, not looking at her. She tilted her head. "You're different lately. Distant. Cold. Did I do something?" I laughed lightly. "Sophia, some things aren't about you." "Really?" Her brow furrowed slightly. "Okay, if you say so." Later Chloe called. "Lucas, you okay?" "I'm surviving," I said. "But it's different. I can't be the same, not now." "Good," she said. "Use it. Let the anger sharpen your focus, but don't let it destroy you. That's what I worry about." "I won't," I said. "I'm learning. Slowly." The next day I met Ryan for lunch. "You're different," he said, taking a bite of his sandwich. "Not just busy, but something else. More distant, controlled. You're not the Lucas I know." "Maybe I'm learning," I said. "Learning how not to be hurt again." Ryan frowned. "You can't just bury it all under work and coldness. You'll explode eventually." "I won't explode," I said firmly. "I've got patience now. Control." That night Sophia asked, "Lucas, want to go out?" "I'm busy," I said. "Maybe another night." "Busy with work?" she asked. "Something like that," I said, a faint edge in my voice. She hesitated, then smiled, trying to charm me. "You're tense. You should relax." "I'll relax when I'm ready," I said, standing from the couch and moving toward my laptop. Chloe texted, "You're holding steady." Good. I smiled at the message. Patience. Control. I opened my folder of evidence, reviewing each detail carefully. Each photo, message, bank statement, it reminded me of the stakes. "I'm not naive anymore," I whispered to myself. Not the same Lucas who trusted blindly. Not the same Lucas who forgave too easily. The guitar rested beside me, untouched, a reminder of who I was and who I could become. Every step I took, every decision I made was deliberate. Every interaction with Sophia was calculated. Every word from her carefully observed. She underestimated me. She always had. And I would make sure she never did again. Control, patience, strategy, those were my weapons now. Not anger. Not shouting. Not begging. I was preparing. And she wouldn't see it coming. "Lucas, you're quiet today," Ryan said, sliding into the booth across from me at the diner. "I'm thinking," I replied, stirring my coffee absent-mindedly. "About Sophia?" he asked carefully. I nodded. "Yeah. About what I can do, without losing myself in it." Ryan leaned back. "So, you're not talking about revenge, right?" "I don't want revenge," I said firmly. "I want karma to work. But I can nudge things in the right direction." Ryan studied me. "And you feel okay doing that?" I shrugged, a small smile tugging at my lips. "It's complicated. There's guilt, sure. But there's satisfaction too. I see the cracks forming and it's a strange relief." "That's dangerous, Lucas," he said, shaking his head. "But I get it. Just don't lose yourself." "I won't," I said, watching the sunlight hit the table. "I'm careful. Everything is subtle. Nothing violent. Nothing direct. Just adjustments." Later that day I called Victoria, Sophia's so-called friend. "Victoria, hey," I said casually. "I was wondering if you could help me clarify something about Sophia's schedule last week." "Oh, sure," Victoria said, unsuspecting. "What do you need?" "Just curious if she mentioned any events. Big gatherings or meetings I might not know about," I said smoothly. Victoria laughed. "Not really. She's been talking about the charity gala and a few lunches." "Why?" "Just keeping track." "Work stuff," I said, hanging up and noting the dates. I sent small, anonymous messages to a few of Sophia's professional contacts, nudging deadlines, reminding them of overdue invoices, and casually suggesting alternative plans for her. Nothing obvious. Just enough to create tiny ripples. That evening, Sophia came home, smiling as usual. "Lucas, you're awfully quiet," she said, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Just busy," I replied, voice neutral. "You've changed," she said softly. "Not like before." "I guess people do," I said, not meeting her eyes. Sophia frowned. "Is it me?" I shook my head. "No, it's me. Learning to handle things differently." Later I checked my email. A notice from one of Sophia's vendors had gone to her personal address, delayed due to my careful nudge. I couldn't help but feel a flicker of satisfaction. Small steps, I thought. No confrontation. No shouting. Just consequences catching up. Chloe called that night. Lucas, everything okay? Yes, I said. I moved a few pieces, not noticeable, but noticeable enough. You sound content, she said. Content is dangerous when mixed with patience. I'm aware, I replied. This isn't joy. It's control. I like seeing things fall into place without touching them directly. The next day, I watched Sophia struggle with an unexpected phone call. She smiled through it, but the slight blush, the stutter, it was tiny, but it was something. She's feeling it, I thought, almost giddy, almost guilty. Ryan called me later. Lucas, you sound satisfied. Don't let it get to you. I'm careful, I said. Nothing reckless. But seeing her stumble even just a little, I can't lie. It feels right. You're walking a fine line, Ryan said. Just remember who you are. I am, I said. I'm still me. But I'm stronger now. Smarter. Sophia came into the room, oblivious to the small disruptions in her life. Dinner? She asked. Sure, I said, keeping my tone light. She smiled, leaning slightly closer. You're tense, you know. You should relax more. I will, I said softly. But on my terms. I watched her, heart heavy with the mix of old love and new strategy. Every smile she gave me, every innocent glance, was a reminder of the trust she broke. And yet I wasn't angry, not really. Not anymore. I was patient. Calculating. Watching the ripple effects of my careful moves. Small adjustments now, I thought. Big consequences later. Sophia Reynolds had underestimated me. That mistake would grow quietly, beautifully, and inevitably. And I would enjoy every moment of it, silently. I watched Sophia Reynolds from my apartment window, noticing the subtle tension in her steps as she left for work. Lucas, you okay? Chloe's voice came through my phone. I'm observing, I said, voice low. She's slipping. Slowly, but it's happening. Chloe chuckled softly. Careful. Don't let satisfaction blind you. I'm aware, I said. This isn't about enjoyment. It's reclaiming something I lost. You mean your dignity, she said, understanding. Yes, I admitted. It's not revenge. It's balance. Later that day, I heard from Victoria again. Lucas, did you notice Sophia's been missing some meetings? Victoria asked casually. Really? I asked, pretending surprise. Yes, people are asking questions. Her honesty is under scrutiny. I smiled faintly, letting the words sink. Good. Let the cracks show themselves. At work, Mark noticed my quiet grin. You look satisfied, he said. Careful, I muttered. It's not what it looks like. Mark raised an eyebrow but didn't press. That evening, I returned an item of hers to her apartment, a book she'd left on my couch. Here, I said, handing it to her. Thanks, Sophia said, smiling. But I noticed her hesitation, the way her fingers brushed mine. Something unsteady in her eyes. You okay? I asked casually. I'm fine, she said, voice lighter than her expression. Just busy. I didn't respond. Silence worked better than words. That night, I deleted the shared photos from my phone. Every picture of us smiling, laughing, holding each other. A click, a swipe, and they were gone. Every memory intact only in my mind, I thought. But she won't see me again in those moments. Chloe called later. Lucas. Yes, I said. It's strange. I feel vindicated. But there's a hollow ache too. That's normal, she said. Reclaiming your life isn't without cost. I thought it would feel more satisfying, I admitted. Instead, it's heavy. Good, Chloe said. Let the weight remind you why you're doing this. Not anger. Not spite. For yourself. I nodded, though she couldn't see me. The next day, Sophia Reynolds called me. Lucas, can we talk? She asked. Her voice was different, uncertain, almost pleading. I'm busy, I said lightly. Maybe another time. Please, she said. I can't, I interrupted, calm. I have work. She sighed, and I heard the tremor in her voice. Exactly what I wanted, I thought. Not cruelty. Just natural consequences. Later, Chloe met me for coffee. She's unraveling, I said, glancing at my cup. People at work, friends, the cracks are visible. And I feel both relief and sorrow. Chloe nodded. That's the paradox. You're reclaiming yourself, but it's still a loss. That's why silence is stronger than confrontation. I like watching it happen without touching it, I admitted. Small missteps, tiny embarrassments. Nothing I could be accused of. Yet they're all caused indirectly by me. Exactly, Chloe said. The power is subtle. And yours. That evening I sat on my couch reflecting on the photos I deleted. Every smile we shared, every quiet moment, now existed only in memory. Sophia Reynolds returned home, tired and distracted. She tried to initiate a conversation. Lucas, dinner? She asked. Not hungry, I said, voice neutral. Her brow furrowed slightly, but she didn't press. I watched her from across the room, remembering the naive trust one once placed in her. I can't go back, I thought. Not now. Not ever. Yet there was no gloating in my chest, only measured calm. A recognition that life could shift on small, deliberate actions. Every minor setback, every awkward glance she received from friends, every missed deadline, all of it was unfolding naturally. And I remained a step back, silent, watching. This was not cruelty. It was justice. Silent, effective, and irrevocable. Sophia Reynolds underestimated me. And now, her carefully crafted world was crumbling quietly, inevitably. I leaned back, letting the satisfaction and sorrow wash over me simultaneously. Control, patience, subtlety. That was power. And I had it. My phone buzzed. A text from Sophia Reynolds. Lucas, can we talk? I owe you an apology. Please. I stared at the screen. My chest tightened, not with anger, not with longing, but with measured awareness. I typed nothing. I didn't need to. Silence was my answer. Later, Chloe called. Lucas, you're not responding, huh? I don't need to, I said, sipping my coffee. She's realizing it on her own. That's more powerful than any confrontation. Feels satisfying? She asked carefully. Not exactly satisfaction, I admitted. It's vindication. Watching someone face the weight of their choices quietly without me having to intervene. You've changed, Chloe said softly. You're stronger. Maybe, I said. Maybe I'm just aware now. Aware of what I deserve and what I won't tolerate. At work, Mark noticed too. Lucas, you seem different, he said, lowering his voice. More focused. More controlled. I am, I said lightly. Control is necessary. I can't let emotions rule me. Mark nodded, eyes thoughtful. Whatever you're doing, it's working. That night, Sophia tried calling again. Lucas, please? Her voice trembled. I know I messed up. I want to explain. Can we meet? I didn't answer. I watched her number flash on the screen and then disappear into the void of unread messages. No, this isn't about excuses, I thought. This is about boundaries. About reclaiming myself. Chloe called later. Lucas, you're holding your ground. Good. I've realized something, I said. It's not about hurting her. It's about protecting me. About not letting her mistakes define me. That's maturity, Chloe said. And power. Ryan called, his voice casual but observant. Man, you've gone through a change. Cold, controlled. I barely recognize you. I've learned, I said. Trust has a price. And I'm done paying for someone else's deception. Good, Ryan said. I just hope you remember who you are underneath all this. I do, I said. But I'm not the naive guy I was. That Lucas is gone. And that's okay. Sophia sent another message. Lucas, I regret everything. Can we talk? Please. I stared at it, imagining her face. The same face I once loved blindly, now showing cracks and remorse. I typed nothing. Instead, I reflected. I remembered every lie, every hidden message, every moment I ignored because I trusted her. And I realized the value of control. The satisfaction of watching karma unfold naturally. The next day, Chloe met me at the cafe. You're doing well, she said. Silence is stronger than confrontation. I understand now, I said. It's not about revenge. It's about dignity. About self-respect. About letting the consequences speak for themselves. Chloe smiled. And that's why your transformation is noticeable. You're calmer, more deliberate. People see it, even outside this situation. I nodded, sipping my coffee. I feel it too. I feel free. Not unfeeling, not numb. Just aware. Ryan texted later. Lucas, you're not the same guy, huh? No, I typed back. Better. Wiser. Stronger. Sophia Reynolds tried again. Please. I never meant for this. Lucas, can we talk? Still nothing. I let the messages pile up, unread. Not cruelty. Not neglect. Just consequence. I thought of the shared memories, the laughter, the trust that had been broken. I felt a faint ache. Not longing, not love, just recognition of what was lost. And I let it go, I thought. I choose me. My dignity. My life. Chloe called one last time that night. Lucas, it's done. You've taken back control. Yes, I said, leaning back. It's done. And it feels inevitable. Right. I looked out the window at the city lights. Sophia Reynolds' world was cracking. My own world was steady, balanced, controlled. I realized then that empowerment wasn't loud. It didn't require confrontation or theatrics. It required patience, awareness, and unwavering resolve. And I had all of it. Sophia Reynolds can regret. I don't need to forgive. I smiled faintly. For the first time in years, I felt whole. I heard the news before Sophia Reynolds even called. Her job, the one she bragged about constantly, was crumbling. Vendors complaining. Deadlines missed. Emails ignored. I didn't intervene. I didn't have to. Chloe's voice came through my phone. Lucas, it's happening. All of it. I see it, I said quietly, sipping my coffee. And I'm not touching a thing. Let it fall naturally. Are you okay? She asked softly. I'm more than okay, I said. I'm liberated. Watching consequences unfold without me lifting a finger, that's power. Later, I watched Sophia Reynolds stumble through her day. Every meeting felt like a trial. Every smile forced. Every word calculated. She glanced at her phone obsessively, hoping for guidance that would never come. Not from me, I thought. She's on her own now. A text from Sophia. Lucas, can we meet? I swear I'll explain everything. Please. I left it unread. Instead, I prepared dinner for myself. Chop, stir, taste. Repetition grounded me. Routine reminded me who I was. And who I would remain. Mark noticed my composure at work. You're calm, he said. Even as things fall apart around you. I've learned patience, I said lightly. Observation is stronger than action sometimes. You've changed, Mark said softly. Sharper, colder, but controlled. Good. Controlled, I repeated to myself. Exactly. That evening, Chloe met me at the cafe. Lucas, she's realizing the cost, Chloe said. Do you feel satisfied? Not exactly satisfaction, I said. More recognition. She's facing the weight of her actions. And I finally feel free of it. Chloe leaned in. Freedom comes with responsibility. Don't lose yourself in this. I won't, I said firmly. I'm not revenge-driven. I'm justice-driven, my own justice. Silent, effective, clean. The next day, Sophia Reynolds walked into work, only to find her presentation had been rejected. Notes missing. Data misplaced. Subtle chaos. Nothing she could blame, nothing she could fight. I watched from afar, knowing the minor nudges I'd made, the delayed emails, the overlooked deadlines, the missed calls, were enough. Not obvious. Not traceable. Perfectly orchestrated. She underestimated me, I thought. She always did. Sophia tried calling again. Lucas, I don't understand. Please, help me. I ignored it, focusing on my laptop. No joy, no malice, just clarity. Evenings became my sanctuary. I'd play guitar, sip coffee, and let my thoughts settle. The chaos outside was hers, not mine. Chloe texted, she's unraveling completely. How does it feel? Feels inevitable, I typed back. Right. Sophia Reynolds' world was crumbling. And I was untouchable. I thought of our memories. Every laugh, every kiss, every foolish moment of trust. I didn't dwell on them. I didn't need to. They existed only as lessons. And I'm done learning from betrayal. That night, I returned to the apartment and cleaned up the remnants of our past. Small items, forgotten trinkets, photographs. Each swipe, each put away motion, symbolic. A chapter ending. Sophia's text continued. Lucas, please. I can't fix this. Unread. I leaned back, letting the quiet wash over me. The tension, the anticipation, the long build-up. It was all over. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. I simply observed the natural consequences, feeling both triumph and melancholy. The satisfaction was quiet, almost imperceptible. But it was complete. I realized then that power wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't violent. It was patience, subtlety, and unwavering resolve. And I had it in spades. Sophia Reynolds would recover eventually, I suppose. Or maybe not. That wasn't my concern. My concern was the reclamation of myself. My dignity. My life. I sipped the last of my coffee, listening to the city hum outside. The architect of silent justice, unseen but omnipresent. And for the first time I felt whole. I sat on the balcony, the city lights flickering below, and let myself breathe. The past months had been a storm and now the air felt calm, almost heavy with possibility. Chloe's voice came through my phone. Lucas, you sound different. I am, I said softly. Different, calmer, aware. I've changed. You mean stronger, she said. Yes, I admitted. Stronger. Not angry. Not bitter. Just wiser. We didn't need to speak much more. Silence felt natural, companionable. Her presence, even over a phone call, was comforting without demanding. Later Ryan stopped by. You look human again, he said, leaning against the doorframe. Human? I asked, raising an eyebrow. You know, not tense, not scheming. You're present, he said. I smiled faintly. It took work, patience, reflection, and maybe letting go of things I couldn't control. Good, Ryan said, clapping me lightly on the shoulder. I was worried about you. You were gone for a while. I had to be gone, I said, to find out who I really am. Not who Sophia wanted me to be, not who I thought I had to be for anyone else. Emily called that evening. Lucas, she said, I see it. You've changed. Not just calm, but grounded. You're yourself again. I'm trying, I said. Trying to be better. To be aware of my limits, my strengths. To hold on to myself without being fragile. Emily's laughter came softly through the line. That's my brother. Finally. I chuckled, a real laugh this time, not the hollow one I'd forced in past months. Later, I looked at the items I had boxed up. Photos, little mementos of my life with Sophia Reynolds. Each one reminded me of betrayal, heartbreak, lessons learned. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel sadness. Just recognition. I survived. I grew. Chloe called again. You're quiet tonight, she said. I'm reflecting, I said. Thinking about how far I've come. About the control I've regained over myself, my life. You sound peaceful, she said. Not like before. I am, I said. And I want to keep it that way. There was a pause. Lucas, you've earned it, she said softly. Whatever comes next, you'll handle it. With awareness, with strength. I smiled faintly. Thanks, Chloe. That means more than you know. That night, I sat at my piano, playing softly. The music filled the room, filling spaces where anger and pain used to linger. Each note felt like a breath, a reminder that I was in control, that I had reclaimed my life. I remembered the first strike, the subtle manipulations, the silent observations. The moments when I felt triumphant but hollow. I remembered the regret, the messages I left unread, the lessons of restraint. And I smiled quietly to myself. I'm whole, I thought. I am steady. I am Lucas Bennett. The city outside buzzed, oblivious to my quiet victory. That didn't matter. I didn't need applause or recognition. My peace was my own. Emily's voice echoed in my memory, you found yourself again. And Chloe's words lingered too, whatever comes next, you'll handle it. I looked at my reflection in the window. Not the Lucas who trusted blindly. Not the Lucas who hurt silently. Not the Lucas who chased revenge with tension in his chest. But someone new. Someone aware. Someone capable of balance, of patience, of strength. I closed my eyes. The past was a shadow behind me, the lessons etched into my mind. The present was calm, intentional. The future, uncertain but inviting. I didn't need more than this moment. This is enough, I thought. I am enough. A soft chime from my phone. Chloe's text. Sleep well, Lucas. Tomorrow is yours. I smiled, typing back, thank you. It already feels like it is. And I leaned back, letting the night wrap around me. For the first time in years, I felt unshakable. I had survived heartbreak, reclaimed control, and discovered the quiet power of self. I was free. I was whole. I was a new me. I drove to the old park where Sophia Reynolds and I used to spend quiet afternoons. The city hummed behind me, but here the air was still, filled with faint echoes of laughter and conversations long gone. I parked the car and stepped out, letting the cool breeze brush my face. I carried a small box, nothing extravagant. A few mementos, reminders of trust once given and broken, memories I'd held and now released. Chloe's voice rang in my mind. Lucas, closure doesn't need words. It's in the action, the letting go. I smiled faintly, thinking of how right she was. A bench near the fountain caught my attention. We had sat there countless times talking about dreams, future plans, and foolish hopes. I placed the box on the seat, arranging it carefully. Each item represented a piece of the past, now relegated to memory. I crouched slightly, brushing off a few leaves that had settled on the bench. No anger. No revenge. Just acknowledgement. A soft voice behind me startled me for a moment. Lucas. It was Chloe standing at the edge of the park path. She didn't step closer, just observed. I thought I'd come, she said softly. To see if it felt right. It does, I said. Perfectly. She nodded, understanding more in that silence than any words could convey. I picked up a single photograph from the box, our smiles from a time before betrayal, and let it flutter gently into the fountain. The ripples spread, catching the sunlight. A symbolic gesture. Not cruelty, not celebration. Just release. Chloe watched, quiet, supportive. I exhaled slowly. I realized something, I said finally. All this time I thought justice required confrontation. Words, anger, reckoning. But it doesn't. It requires patience, awareness, and letting the consequences unfold. Silence is its own power. She smiled faintly. You've learned that well. I leaned back on the bench, feeling the weight of months lift. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the plotting, it was all behind me now. The lessons remained, etched into my mind, but the burden was gone. Lucas, Chloe said, do you feel free? I do, I said. Freer than I've been in years. Stronger, calmer, aware. I've reclaimed myself without needing to confront her, without needing her to admit anything. I've done it entirely for me. Chloe's presence was quiet comfort, not distraction. Not pressure. Just acknowledgement. I glanced at the fountain, watching the photograph drift, spinning slightly before sinking. The motion felt like my emotions, once chaotic, now settling naturally. I thought of Ryan, Emily, and the small circle that had witnessed my transformation. They hadn't seen the silent moves I'd made, the careful orchestration, the patience. But they saw the outcome. A Lucas who was no longer naive, no longer vulnerable to deceit, but tempered, resilient, and in control. Closure doesn't need witnesses, I said softly. It just needs understanding. And I finally understand myself. Chloe nodded. Then you've done it. I stood, brushing the remaining leaves from my jacket. I looked at the bench one last time, at the fountain, at the sunlight glinting on rippling water. A chapter closed, not with words, not with confrontation, but with deliberate action and reflection. I should go, I said, taking a deep breath. Chloe watched, silent support radiating from her stance. Go, she said. I walked away, each step lighter than the last. Every memory of pain had been transmuted into strength. Every moment of betrayal had become a lesson in patience and awareness. I didn't look back. The park faded behind me just as the chapter of my life with Sophia Reynolds had faded. No need for anger. No need for words. Silent justice had been served. And I felt whole. I felt free. I felt ready for whatever came next. The city hummed ahead, bright and bustling, unaware of the quiet resolutions that had taken place. I smiled faintly, letting the breeze brush my face again. The weight of the past was gone, replaced with clarity, strength, and self-assurance. I was Lucas Bennett, wiser, tempered, unshakable. And this was only the beginning.